Welcome back, trainers. So we're going to be discussing Drifblim in this video because he is quite an interesting Pokemon with an astounding amount of HP. Now, this can be used in certain situations regarding PvP or even a gym battle, I suppose. Say you have a Pokemon that is weak to fighting types and you pull out Drifblim, you're going to be 4 times resistant against that fighting type, just like we discussed with Crobat and Swampert in that situation regarding the grass types. Also, we have some more information regarding the Adventure Sync and some of the features that go along with it. They look very interesting, and we actually have some images. We're going to go over to Krell's Twitter and take a look at that. And then we're going to hop into Drifblim, look at its stats, and I actually went up against several different gyms, well, just 2, and tested out this Drifblim here. So it has Hex and Ominous Wind on this one. I do have one that has Shadow Ball. We're going to also look at that. I do recommend that overall. It did perform quite well. Although if you're going to be dropping this in a gym, Ominous Wind is not going to be bad at all. But anyways, we'll get more into that. Let's go ahead and check out the new Adventure Seek features that are going on. Right, so here we are on Krell's Twitter. I will leave a link in the description so you can go check it out and follow him yourself. So here's an image with the Adventure Seek toggle on and off. There you go. And then you can turn on your eggs and let it go. And then it'll start counting. So let Pokemon Go count your steps while the game is closed to help incubate your eggs and find more candy. Very nice. Choose an account because you're going to have a Google account, folks. So keep that in mind. That's what is going to be required out of this. And then it's asking for permissions, location, and all that. Now, this is the fun part here. Let's go ahead and look at this. You have walked 0 kilometers this week. This is just a test screen here. And then there are the rewards down below. Looks like 3 types of berries. And then eggs hatched. Looks like it will keep track of those. So you have steps, calories, eggs hatched, candy found. And it's just going to keep track of all that. Very nice. And it looks like it's going to be right underneath your avatar when you scroll down to your medals, between the medals and your journal there, as you can see. So very nice. This should be pretty exciting. A new feature. Always welcome to Pokemon Go with these new little add-ons. It just makes the game that much better. So there you go for the Adventure Sync. It should be a fun addition. Can't wait for this to drop. Like I said, there is a new version of Pokemon Go out. If it's not in the Google Play, just be patient because it will come to your store soon enough. Right, so here we are on the Go Hub. Let's go ahead and take a look at Drifblim's stats. It's going to be evolving from Drifloon because they all float down here. Alright, it's going to be a ghost and flying type. You can find this shiny. Personally have not. It's going to be all gold. Looks pretty cool. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at the stats and see why we're covering this Pokemon. It's very interesting. Max CP 2,382, attack 180, defense 102, and stamina 312. So it has quite a bit of health. Mixed with 4 times resistant on the fighting type is going to make for some kind of maybe wall your opponent in the PvP match. But let's not get too ahead of ourselves. So best moveset is going to be Hex and Shadow Ball, with a DPS cycle of 16.74. So it's not that high whatsoever. It's going to be more of a stall Pokemon. Week 2, Dark, Electric, Ghost, Ice, and Rock types. Resisting fighting 4 times. And then regular resistant to Bug, Ground, Normal, Grass, and Poison type. Let's go ahead and take a look at its movesets here. And personally, when I used it, it felt nice. It was outputting a decent amount of damage. The Pokemon I was going up against weren't not the highest CP, but there's a big drawback for this Pokemon when using it to go up against the gyms because its quick moves are only ghost types. So you're going to have a problem when you run into Tyrannitars, Snorlax, Blissey, Chansey. Things like that are just going to literally wall you. As you're going to see here, I'm going to have footage towards the very end of me going up against a Blissey. This first gym, fortunately enough, did not have a Chansey or a Blissey for the first time. And usually I would be looking for those gyms with them in it. But this time around, I was quite happy because of the moves that we're seeing here. Quick moves, Astonish and Hex. Hex is going to be the better one all around. And then you have for your charge moves, Shadow Ball, Ominous Wind, and Ice Wind. I think Ice Wind wouldn't be a horrible option as a gym defender. Who knows? Really depends. Come PvP, you could use it to help yourself get the advantage over personally dragon types. I don't know. Otherwise, flying and that's grass. But I would rock Shadow Ball, okay? If you're going to be dropping in a gym, Shadow Ball or Ominous Wind for sure. And like I said, If you want to use this to help your team to counter the Pokemon that are weak to fighting, say you have a Tyranitar on your team, you could put in a Crobat, which is going to be resisting it. But usually what you're going to want are Pokemon that can not only counter what is weak to the current Pokemon that is out there, but also have a counter move to the Pokemon that is doing super effective damage. So say a fighting type comes in, and then they start smashing your Tyranitar. You switch out to Drifblim, and the Machamp is out there. What do you have that's super effective towards it? If you have a Crobat with flying moves, you see you're going to have super effective damage. Just giving you ideas so you are prepared, because that's what it's going to come down to. A lot of people are saying, what's the point of PvP? What is this going to do for anybody? How is this going to help the game? It's going to give it a competitive aspect, what Pokemon is literally based off of. You can go the other route and say, well, you got to catch them all, Pokemon. But I guess I never went by that philosophy. I went by the law of battle hard and win. I caught them all, I suppose, but that was never my goal ever, really, even as a child. I intentionally skipped Pokemon and didn't even try to catch them. Now, don't think that I'm some sort of noob. Of course, I filled up the Pokedex completely before, but my goal in Pokemon is to PvP. What am I trying to get at here is when Pokemon Go receives some sort of PvP, it's going to bring more competitive aspect to the game, and people are going to actually be able to challenge themselves against other players without just dropping in a gym or doing some sort of damage competition in a raid. So yes, PvP is going to be fantastic for Go. The other hand, we have the trickster over here, Gengar, which is actually going to be in the spotlight here in a few days on November 3rd when it receives 3 hours in raids for us to catch, possibly shiny with Lick and Psychic. Now, I'm pretty sure every single one that you catch is going to have Lick and Psychic. And it's just a matter of, are you going to get a shiny, right? So we're looking at Gengar because it is also 4 times resisting fighting type, which can also be used in a PvP match. And we need to discuss something, folks. We see the stats. We know Gengar, it's got massive attack. It is a glass cannon. It can take pretty good amount of hits, especially if it's going up against fighting type moves. Man, it really resists those quite well. Now, people think Psychic's not good. Psychic's bad, you know, this and that. Yes, it's not going to be the best. But let's think about this, folks. If you're going in a PvP match, and they bust out their fighting type, let's say Machamp yet again, because you're probably going to see those quite often in those kind of matches. You pull out your Gengar, and it's going to be 4 times resistant. Not only that, you're going to have Psychic. You're going to hit him with Psychic. It's super effective. Bam. Lick, charge it up really quick. Whatever you got to do, and then it's over. Yes, of course they can switch, but say it's their last Pokemon, and say the Gengar's your last Pokemon, and you were setting it up the whole match. You know, you guys were just neck and neck and neck, and then you knew which one you had to counter next, and you were just saving your last piece for the end, which was that Gengar, which is going to be 4 times resistant to that Machamp you knew they had on their team, and then you go in there with Psychic, and it's game over for them. There's no way they could win. I have a feeling maybe one day Machamp might receive a Dark-type move, because I did have one in the main series game as well, and I also had Focus Sash, so it stayed alive with 1 HP, so a Psychic-type Pokemon hit me, I would use that Dark move, which it did 2 times more damage if I went second, and it did a lot of damage to them, right? There's no kind of move like that yet in the game where, oh, you move second and it's going to do 2 times more damage. You see where I'm going with this. Anyways, Gengar is where you want to go. So make sure you go and you catch yourself some of these Gengar come this Gengar Day, November 3rd, because, yes, Psychic is actually going to be okay. For the people who know what's up, I might have bashed it a little bit when they first announced it. I wasn't really too hard on it. I was just kind of like, that's surprising. I thought they were going to give it like Dream Eater or something. But Psychic works if you know what you're doing in a PvP match. So will I be maxing one out? I don't know. We'll have to see. Maybe, maybe not. I definitely want to power up one with a Lick and a shiny for sure. So that's another option there other than Drifblim. That one is just silly. I mean, I don't know. If you want to drop it in a gym, remember that Pokemon that are dropped there do have 2 times the amount of stats and stamina, so it's going to have quite a bit of health, and make sure the opponent is not going to take it up quick, kind of, I suppose. So there you have Gengar and my thoughts on the future. So yes, make sure you do get one of those, because Psychic is going to be alright on it, guys. I mean, it's not going to be horrible. Now it's going to be weak to Dark, Ghost, Ground, and Psychic types, resisting fighting 4 times, resisting Bug, Normal, Poison, Fairy, and Grass. So Gengar is good, always has been, And if you're worried about your Shadow Claws still, let me give you some reassurance. It's okay. Some situations Shadow Claw is going to be better. Some situations Lick is going to be better. But the thing is, Lick is going to outperform Shadow Claw by a millisecond in any situation that's best for Lick. Okay, so just think about that for a second. Your Shadow Claw is still 100% on par, so don't worry about it. And the difference in battle is going to be very, very little. It's going to charge your charge bar up much quicker, the Lick, for sure. But we're going to go back to that whole Mewtwo thing, Psycho Cut and Confusion. But this is a little bit different because the damage output for each of these quick moves we're discussing is very, very minuscule and neck to neck. The damage comparison with Confusion and Psycho Cut was a big jump. It was like night and day. And I'm not going to go down that road because we already covered that, right? Anyways, so yes, make sure you do not worry about your Shadow Claws. They're still very valuable and useful for battles. Okay, trainers, and we have another situation here. Well, some more information. And that's going to be your Haunters and your Gastlys. If you have good IV ones, get ready because you're going to be able to evolve those on November 3rd to receive Lick and Psychic. So that's some really awesome news. Say you just can't make it, you're working or you have something you're doing and you're just not able to attend any of the raids, have nobody in your area, but you do have some good Gastlys or Haunters ready to evolve. Make sure you save those for November 3rd and you will be able to receive the exclusive move Lick as the quick move and the charge move Psychic. It's not going to turn into shiny or anything, obviously, but you'll still be able to get those new moves. Now, I do have this lucky here. It is pretty, let me see, pretty good. Attack, defense, wow. Okay, so it's all right. It's lucky. It's going to take not that much Stardust. I'll probably go for it, seeing that I have 761 Gastly candies, even though I've maxed out so many. It just keeps coming in thanks to this Halloween event and Alaska. Anchorage, I don't know, they've always spawned ghost Pokemon, especially Gastlys. Never has been hard for me to find them or people who live here. Personally, me, but anyways, just wanted to let you know that you can evolve your Gastlys and your Haunters come November 3rd to receive the exclusive move. So I'm so set. Let's see, I do have a 100 Revenge. People are wondering, why did you name it Revenge? I don't know. I was thinking when PvP comes out and they destroy something of mine and I go in there with Gengar up against a Tyranitar with Focus Blast. I don't know. Makes no sense. I'm confused at this point right now as well. Anyway, just wanted to bring you guys this information. Hoped it helped you out. If it did, please hit that like button because that always helps me. And I'll be catching you all very soon.